In your own childhood, with writers, perhaps particularly with horror writers, readers, psychologists, they're always looking for the something terrible that happened in the woodshed or bathroom when they were young. Now, you've hinted at some things in your memoir on writing. There was, which I think is significant, an experience with wasps in a concrete block when you were very young.
Well, what I find significant is that interviewers always look for that moment, that it's a way of saying, what twisted you so badly?
But there usually is something there, isn't there?
If there was, would I really tell you? Let's put it this way. There is in Scott Landon's life. There's something. The whole childhood is a secret. For him, the whole childhood is a nightmare. But you see, how to put this? It's like looking for something. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack when there really is no haystack, but really just a big pile of needles. It's all, for instance, when you look at the life of Charles Dickens, all those years that he was put out in the blacking factory, and you say, well, no wonder he became, any imaginative boy would want to get away from that, and if he could use his pen as a tool to distance himself from it, he would. As a child, I had a very large imagination. Yes, there were things that happened to me that were tough in my childhood. I was farmed out for a year with relatives while my mother, who was a single mom, paid off her husband's bills. And my brother went to another set of relatives, and he and I were unhappy apart from each other. So I remember that. And yeah, I remember dropping the concrete block on my foot, and I remember when he and I were punished for running away from home when we were left with an aunt that we didn't care for. So there are some unpleasant memories, but there's no sort of seminal Freudian moment of discovering mother beating father or father beating mother or someone hanging upside down in the woodshed. There's nothing really Gothic in the Daphne du Maurier sense.
Although there is one conversation you recount in On Writing, which I think Professor Freud, Dr. Freud would have been interested in, where you ask your mother, a conversation about death with your mother when I think you were 5 or 6.
My mother was frank about anything that you asked her, but you had to ask. And I asked her if she'd ever seen a dead body, and she said yes, that she had seen a sailor jump from the top of the Graymore Hotel in Portland, and she said that he hit the concrete and splattered. And of course, I remembered that. I have an imagination, and I'm thinking, my goodness, the force of that. Can you imagine what that must have looked like? And then...
And she said what came out was mainly green.
Mainly green, she said. Mainly green, yeah. But see, you remembered that right offhand rather than I did. So I would say that we both have sort of an attraction to that particular story, right?